Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gemma's Window. If you have followed the calculations in the box below and concluded you are a power year number 5, then you're at the right place. Say fives. You can also jump on to Gemma's Window at gmail.com and you can follow the calculations there to get to your power year number. Which fives you only have to do once for the entire year of 2021. Your monthly numbers change, and that's where I come in. High fives. Hey, it's May 2021. You are in the month of new beginnings. So let's take a look. Let's shuffle our first deck, okay? And let's take a look at fives that are working and then fives who are looking for work, okay? Now, fives, I want to remind you, before we go over what those numbers mean, I want to remind you that all words that I say are for you in your segment. Because this is a general reading, I may be talking about romance, and it may sound more like the relationships you have at work or a situation that's going on at work. And that's A-OK, fives. Take it and run. We're going to begin by looking at fives who are in business, and then we're going to take a look at fives in relationships, and then we're going to answer any question that you have. That's right, any question at all that you have, and we're going to take a look at what's the best possible outcome that we can expect for it. So I'm pulling cards right now from our first deck. And here we go. Okay, fives. I didn't go over the numbers. 5, the year of 5, prepare yourself for many changes. Now, some of those changes, 50% of them might be changes that you bring on. And the other 50% might be changes that the universe decides to put in your path because they're forcing you and pushing you to make decisions to get you on your quest, your purpose of life. The month of 1 obviously would be about new beginnings. So there might be some new things transpiring in this month of May for you, fives. So let's take a look. Now, of course, there's a lot more about numbers, but I'll let you know if any of the meanings of those numbers, of your numbers, come up in different guises. I'll enlighten you and let you know. So for our fives who have a job, I feel like you do a good job, you're at work, you're doing a good job, but what is making you so anxious and nervous at the workplace? I feel like you might be at the end of the road of a thought or an idea that you had, but it's all making you anxious and nervous because you're not really quite sure, well, how's the future going to go? How's the future going to go? How's the future going to go? And yet you end up with this perfect partnership card in the business world. So, fives, if there are changes within the job you already have, changes that perhaps the business has made, changes perhaps that you have made, you can still land on your feet beautifully and with great ease with proper communication. 5 is about communication. Your 3 of Wands card in your future, about communication. It's my perfect partnership card, which means that if you were working somewhere but you decided you wanted less hours, and you're thinking that they're never going to go for that, they very well may. They very well may say, well, you know what, as a matter of fact, we were going to hire a part-timer. Do you want to do that instead? Or we know of another branch somewhere that is looking for just that. They want somebody 25 hours a week. Why don't you transfer over there? Communicate clearly with what you want if you're working fives and make it happen. There are many of you who can do that. Otherwise, we wouldn't be getting the message right now. Now, our fives who are looking for work, I'm finding that you have a lot of talents, and that's another thing about five is it's the it can be a year where there's many directions and many things that you're interested in, and you're not quite sure which one to do. And I have the card here that tells me that you are good at a lot of things. You have made a lot of headway, and yet we find you antsy and disgruntled and kind of on the edge and kind of not sure. Now, what you're moving into is the Ace of Swords card, which is you working your butt off about an idea or something new that you're trying to create or build up. And you do a fabulous job of it. And you get to a point where you're happier than you ever thought you could be. Things work out so much better for you. So say you're back, you're at the workplace and you're like, this is fine and this is good, but maybe I should go for a certification or an education or a degree in such and such. But God, that requires a lot of work. Another thing that this card represents is the winter, that you might land on your feet next winter. But that you don't know that, you can't see that perchance, you're not sure how it's going to go. But that's what the card represents, is that you really you fight like crazy, you end up in a better position than you ever thought, and you might see the results more so next year. Where it also says here that you have support. You have a support system here, fives. That could be from, this card represents an old friend or someone maybe you've worked with in the past, or someone that you've had a lot of, you may have a connection, or you may have somebody in the mix that's a real supporter for you that you don't even know that they're recommending you somewhere, or they're speaking highly of you somewhere, but they know your work or they know you, and they might be giving a plug, or somebody will give you a plug, or if you ask them to for a reference, or you think, well, I don't want to put anybody out, do it, because it says here that you've got good connections, fives. Use those connections to begin the next phase of your life that you would like, or the next direction. Let them help you get onto the route or the road that you'd like to be on for your future. So good for you. Accept the help if someone is there offering, or ask for the help that you need, fives, to get to where you want to go. Now, let's shuffle the cards. Our fives who are in love, or our fives who are looking for love, and let's see what we have. La, la, la. This is a year of changes, fives, so you may very well change that relationship in some way, shape, or form. Five is about communication, so remember to keep on talking. Keep on talking. Okay, so let's take a look. We have fives who are in a relationship. And then we have our fives who are looking for a relationship. Okay, so fives, I feel a little upheaval here for you, and that's in across the board. So we have our fives who, you're in this month of May, and it's the month of one, and maybe you were thinking things were going to go a certain way. Things were going to happen a certain way with some subject matter that's around your present relationship. But I feel like you've been led astray, or you feel like you've been led astray. And somehow, some way, you're feeling really crappy about it, and you're annoyed about it, or you're mad about it, and you're like, look, this isn't what I signed up for, or this isn't what you said was going to happen in this month of May, um, or someone else. Maybe you're married and your in-laws are suddenly, they were supposed to come through with something, or they're thinking you were supposed to come through with something, and you're feeling like, no, I never said that. I never said that we were going to do this with them or have them visit us for 6 months. And you're feeling pressure. And it looks to me like it's out of your hands, fives. It looks to me like actually have the counseling card here. So that you and your spouse, or live in love, or fiance, you may have to go for outside help for whatever the shenanigans that are going on in the relationship are. You may have to ask for someone else's help. You may have to go to counseling together. You may have to talk to this person's mother and for once put it to bed that you have to maybe increase that relationship or that communication with the family, or maybe you've avoided Sunday dinners with their family all this time, but it's like you've got to make a showing now. So there does need to be some kind of improvement made in a situation, and you might have to seek outside assistance for that help of moving forward, fives, in this month of May. Now, for our fives who are looking for a relationship, again, I have you coming from this harsh card of the Tower, is where you may have felt beaten up in like, I don't know what to do. But I have this advice card. It's like, fives, we seem to be getting a message that if you need help in the area of relationship, ask for the help that you need. Because I have cards of dissatisfaction for you, fives, where you're just feeling antsy, like I'm not getting anywhere, I'm not making headway. And then I have cards for you, fives, that say, ask for the help you need. That might be turning over a new leaf for some of you, fives, to admit that I have a problem, I need help in this area. Who do I ask? You ask the specialists. You ask who would know. Like, you don't ask your mother-in-law when you need to ask the veterinarian. You ask who will know. Now, you have the potential, I feel, to meet somebody who really has it all going on. So don't give up, fives. Talk and express yourself about what you need in this month of May. And another thing about one, you're in this month of one, and sometimes the cheese must stand alone. And that's what the one means. It can mean that sometimes you have to step away from the group and say, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. And this is how I feel, and this is what I'm going to do moving forward. And they're like, what? You're going to what? And you're saying, yeah, this is what I'm doing. It may be the unpopular vote in this month of May, but I feel it's the right thing. That's another thing that one can mean for you. So you have a bit on your plate here. I don't want to say a lot on your plate, but you have a bit on your plate here, some of you. Now, fives, let's ask any question that you have. It might be about love. It might be about work again. It might be about another relationship altogether. It might be about relocation, finance, help, whatever you want. And let's ask, what is the best possible outcome that our fives can have in this month of May of new beginnings for them? And let's see. Oh, fives. Okay. Fives, I have what I have here. It starts out very nice, and it is the new relationship card. So fives, you are able in this month of May to begin this new relationship. It could be with a person, it could be a new job, a new relationship could be a new town you want to move into. The good thing is that you know what you want right off the bat. So you're in this month of new beginnings, and it might be a new idea or something that you're just like dreamt about, and you're like, oh my God, yeah, my dream last night makes sense. That is, that's exactly what I was thinking. And, or, hey, that's a really good idea. And you're right. Now you have to find the right people to make it happen, or the right timing to make it happen, or the right occasion to make it happen. And then you've got a slew of small problems that you must work through to get it right. Now, you may already know that if you say to someone, well, I think we should move in together. Now, I know that you have 17 children and I only have a 1-bedroom apartment, but I think that it's time that we start at least planning that or thinking about that. What do you think? And the other person says, yeah, but how are we going to do that? Because, I've got, 17 children and 16 of them are boys and only one is a girl. So, and then you say, well, I don't know, let's just, at least if we both know we want the same thing, we can go out there and we can try to make it happen and try to work out. And that's what I feel. I feel like in this month of new beginnings, you actually might get a very good idea. And then you're like, okay, now how do I make it happen? And it is true. You need the right help from people or organizations, plus the timing has to be right. Then you've got these little fires that you have to put out for it to transpire. But you're on as soon as you have the idea, you're on your way, fives. You're on your way to making it happen. And you've got the blessing of the reading and the numbers and the timing that you can indeed make it happen and begin this new area of your life that you're looking to enjoy and to start. So that's awesome, fives. Thank you so much for joining Gemma's Window. I'll see you next month when you're in the month of 2 in June. If you'd like a private reading or to learn more about me, please jump on to gemmaswindow@gmail.com or send me an email, ask me a question, or just find out more about me. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Okay, 5. See you next time. Bye for now.